Well, look at this. New faces. There's new faces everywhere around here. We got a nice new setup going on here. And we're back. Welcome to the Fireside Tales again. I am so excited to be playing this campaign again. It's been about a month or so since you guys saw any of this kind of stuff going on with Kronos World on screen here. So thanks for rejoining us and hanging out again. I'm definitely excited to be playing Dungeons and Dragons. Which is one of the reasons we're all here, take our head out of the real world and all that kind of stuff that's going on out there. There's a lot of crazy events going on, and it's nice to kind of, pull our heads out of that and play a little fantasy setting Dungeons and Dragons and just have some fun and pretend that the world is okay. I'm just kidding. Dark and twisted. Let's go dark and twisted right off the bat. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm definitely excited for this new team. I do kind of want to go around a little bit with everybody. It's kind of a new format with the new faces, let them have a chance to kind of introduce themselves and also to introduce their characters. I will go ahead and start off with Brasnic, which most of you guys are familiar with, our resident dwarf. He's been around for quite some time, but for the new viewers, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and describe your character?
Hi, I'm Quentin, or Quinn. I play Brasnic. I'm a he/him. Brasnic is also a he/him. He is a dwarven rogue arcane trickster who might have a fear of doors because giant blades came out of them one time, and now I don't trust any doorway ever again.
I think
Besides that, I have a lot of pockets, and I'm proud of it. Like a lot of pockets.
very
I can
deep,
carry a lot of stuff.
very deep pockets.
But yeah, I'm a little miffed because I'm sort of there's this evil wizard who may have taken my friends. So yeah, I feel kind of alone right now. As far as description goes, Brasnic is about 4'2", quite stout, but even though he has the sort of stout body structure a dwarf has, he is more on the dexterous side. Got nimble fingers, and uh, his armor has like 6 or 7 pouches, while also having a bag of holding at his. So yeah, pretty decked out. Oh, I've got some cool twin uh, dragon fang daggers at my side that are pretty cool. A rapier, a short bow, and a few arrows.
He does have those twin black dragon fang daggers that were taken from one of the boss creatures of the Forge of Fury dungeon. They encountered a young black dragon down there by the name of Nightshade. And after a very intense and very close battle, they were able to defeat this dragon. And after doing so, Mr. Brasnic was able to come away with a very nice set of twin magical blades. So, let's go
Wait,
ahead
I was
and
supposed to get 6. I was supposed to get
two
6. I was tricked.
two is a very fair number for the amount of magical daggers that this dwarf received. Let's go ahead and hop on over to Grisellia.
Okay, so I'm Gigi. I think it's technically short for Gianna, but nobody has called me that ever. So Gigi it is. I play Grisellia Cointreaux. She's a Kalishtar shepherd druid, raised by incredibly famous adventuring parents. Unfortunately, that means, you don't really have parents at all. Not to mention they're not really her parents. It's a really complicated story. But she's tall, Kalishtar with white blonde hair, freckled skin. She's got dark blue turquoise tattoos on her face and travels everywhere with her best friend, an awakened shrub named Zoe, who she's far more likely to talk to than anyone else.
Zoe is indeed a loyal companion to our own Grisellia. Indeed, when the two of you met the young druid in the bar, at first, when you first noticed her sitting across the bar, Law, you kind of saw this young, person. You didn't really recognize the race of this being sitting there. And every time you kind of turned back towards your companion, you could have sworn that there was this slight shudder of movement. And every time you looked back, suddenly stillness. And again, when you turned away, there was another movement of green, almost as if this plant sitting next to her seemed to be moving of its own accord. But every time you looked back over, suddenly this plant was still again, and you were never quite sure. Interesting companions. And speaking of
Best
law,
friend, first off, not companion. Best friend.
Best friend. We're at a level. We've achieved a level with this plant being here. And speaking of law, would you like to introduce yourself?
Gladly. I'm Dread, your typical all-purpose nerd, and I will be playing Law. 7 feet, 5 inches, over 300 pounds of synthetic, massive muscle. I am the apprentice adjudicator to War Wizard Brimley, the herald of the Master Abjurer himself for the Societas Arcanus, teamed with Seckmoth, my loyal partner, who, with his mastery of magic and my bulk and mastery of martial prowess, we will stop any evildoers who come our way. Or something.
It's true. I'm even more excited than I was about 10 seconds ago. That is going to segue us directly into his partner in Detective Magicry. Is that what's going on here? What exactly is the role of Seckmoth?
Well, I'm Grakees, voice actor and streamer, and I am playing Seckmoth Dekraft. Law is a little bit intense, but he's right about what we're doing. I'm a wizard for the Societas Arcanum. My master will keep them... Well, we'll keep them in the shadows for now, because we are looking into things that are new into the worlds of magic, including Law itself. Law, what is it that you are again?
I don't know.
Okay. So more mysteries inbound, and with this we will adventure and gather knowledge. That is my thing. More than gold. Learning. Understanding.
And justice.
Yes, justice. Okay.
Everyone has their priorities indeed, and this is going to be fun. So let us go ahead and start off diving right into these jungles outside of the hidden shrine of Tamoachan. And I'm going to start off with the 3 new members of our party. So let's go ahead and set the mood here. Just so you guys find yourselves wandering through this jungle, making your way through the humid and dense foliage, tightly packed trees, following this druid that almost seems to be in a space unto herself as she walks through this jungle, and just sensing the path before her. And several times you guys almost want to stop her and question whether she knows the direction, but this sense about her makes you stop yourself before questioning the abilities of this young druid. And as you guys make your way, you come across many of these temples that are attractions to many folk from many lands that come to this area to see these ancient ruins. But she keeps walking and keeps going past these more familiar locations, almost not even noticing the ancient majesty around her, these ancient ruins, as she just kind of unerringly makes her way into the hills and then into the mountains beyond them. Until finally, after many hours of marching, some of you more capable in this than others, you come across a ridge line, and you see below you this valley stretching out before you. Again, this lush, verdant jungle. And at its center, you see an ancient pyramid, also covered in foliage and vines. Start making your way down there.
This is what we've been looking for. I'll just continue walking.
I'm going to take one moment and cast Prestidigitation on myself to clean all the dirt, and then follow.
Okay.
Wizards are always so worried about their robes.
I just keep scanning the environment, looking around for any threats. Hands in the palms of my blades.
Okay. So, as you guys start descending into this valley, it's probably another good hour or so as you're making your way down the sides.
I feel like you cleaned yourself a little too early there.
Hmm?
Oh,
I can do it whenever. Clean. Though that is a good idea. Mage armor.
And as you guys
most
are...
of the danger... Oh, sorry.
As you guys are kind of talking about the possible dangers that could arise in such a setting as this, such an ancient and lost place, go ahead and roll. Is anyone that has a survival, has a proficiency, go ahead and roll a survival check. Any of you?
I didn't take survival.
No, this is not in my wheelhouse.
Okay. How about a nature check? Surely somebody has that one.
Yeah, I have nature. Sorry, my spell sheet was taking forever to load.
This druid.
I was.
You're good with no nature, no survival.
Yeah, she's like, whatever. I grew up in the city.
I just walk places. What?
They say I'm lost. I'm saying I'm adventuring.
A 9.
13 total?
Okay. So as you're kind of going through, you do see some signs of broken branches, bent over grasses, other things that tell you that you guys aren't the first beings to come through here recently. And as isolated and lost as this location is, that in itself is an interesting.
Druid, what does all this mean?
There are other people around, or at least others that have found this place recently. You may want to be a little more on guard than you were before.
Law draws both his blades, holds them out to his side. Seckmoth, be ready.
I am always ready, Law. You know that. And we expected people to be here. Remember, we got the ping.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, of course. Okay. So as you guys start making your way closer to this ancient pyramid, you suddenly hear this rumbling deep within the earth. And as the ground around you starts shaking and vibrating, it grows louder and you see like this a shifting of earth ahead of you, and you see this plume of debris and smoke rise in the air. And as you get a little bit closer, you see that a huge section of the earth has caved in. And not too far away, you see that there's another part of this ravine that seems to be opening up into the earth that has also caved in.
Druid, your name again, please?
It's easier if you just call me Vale.
Zell, is this a natural occurrence in the region?
Would I know that?
Roll a nature check. That's a good roll. You could definitely tell that this is it's not necessarily unnatural for it to happen, but you could just have a sense that it wasn't just caused just by itself. You feel like something made this happen.
This looks intentional. I don't know why, and this does happen. It's not unheard of around here. I mean, the earth is very different from the lands that we all know, but there's something much more strange going on here. Be careful, is basically what I'm saying. And watch for the floor falling out beneath you. It'd be sad to lose you here, honestly. It's quite early.
I'll sweep the perimeter.
Okay, roll a perception
Good
check.
idea.
Law slowly, cautiously walks around the edges of this large pit, looking for anything suspicious. Pardon.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a perception check. I'm gonna turn down this jungle just a little. Very nice, very nice. You don't see anything really out of the ordinary. Out scanning around, even scanning the jungle up and above the ridgeline, just kind of looking around you. This place looks untouched, like it's been forgotten for decades, except for this gaping hole in the earth.
I see no one here.
Well, that could be a good thing or a bad thing.
I want to take a look at the hole and see if there was a mechanism involved.
Okay. Roll investigation.
Okay. 16.
I would say from this vantage point, you can't really tell if it was something that was caused from below if it was something, you don't know for sure what triggered this.
No obvious triggers. Proceed with caution, see if we can find a way in.
I mean, that seems like the only real idea.
Okay.
Could we see any sort of bottom to this whole pit? Platforms, anything?
Yeah, it definitely looks like, there was some shifting of the earth, but it's definitely, you can see the bottom to it. It looks like just, for some reason, some of this earth has just been misplaced and sunk lower.
Seckmoth, can you lower me in?
This I can do. Hold on, give me one moment. And Seckmoth walks up to Law. You see him mutter something real quick, touches back. And now your weight is reduced basically in half.
Okay.
With the lighter frame, I would like to climb my way down. I don't think I'm floating because I was already kind of heavy, but at least climb my way down.
Hold on, just in case. Pull a rope out of my pack and tie it around you.
Okay.
Smart.
Indeed. Okay. So you guys make these preparations. You get the rope tied around you, and I assume probably wrap it around a tree so you can get that extra leverage and get because La is a pretty heavy being. Getting him down into this pit safely would definitely require some extra leverage there. So as you guys kind of get to work on that, I'm going to go ahead and segue over to one of our other party members here. Because Mr. Brasnic, my friend, you are definitely in a different situation. Let's go ahead and set the ambiance down here, my friend, because it is much different. No, not that one. All right, and you were able to find yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There he is. Okay. So you hear crumbling stone. You hear the slamming of just tons of earth slamming to the earth around you, just beyond this doorway. The last thing you feel and remember is the hand of your Tabaxi friend on your back as he is shoving you through this doorway, and suddenly it disappears into the falling stone. And as you kind of roll to a stop, and the smaller stones and earth is kind of rolling around you amongst the rubble, you kind of shake your head, and what is the first thing that you think?
Fuck. Just like talking out loud to himself. It's like, well, I'm alone. Rafiki's probably dead. And wizards stole everyone else. And then there's possibly that weird zombie creature in the tomb.
You do remember seeing Tlocus Popolicus rising again from the stone as the earth was crumbling all around the chamber. You saw this creature reach up and grab Death Eater around the handle. This axe that caused such a berserker frenzy, this rage in your friend like you'd never seen before, just by merely touching it. You saw this being rip the axe from the wall and turn and look right at you as the stones blocked your vision. And as you sit there contemplating what all of this means, suddenly from the corner, you hear this noise. This and you look over and you see this form. And you see these wings kind of droop down, and you see these hunched shoulders, and you see the bowed head of Jot. Roll a perception check.
Ten.
Okay. That would be good enough for this. You see that Jot isn't obsidian anymore.
Like running through my mind is just like, wait, does that mean? Oh, is God dead? I mean, right? Because I don't know how warlock magic works really, but alright, and then I finally get to my feet, turn to Jot, and go, so, hey buddy, glad you made it out okay. You saw all that, right? It wasn't just me.
Yeah. I don't. They're all gone. They're all gone. Did you see that thing? Did you see that thing comes in there and he just zapped them all?
I know magic is very useful and I'm learning it myself, but I kinda hate using it right now. Just a little bit.
And he kind of like stops and he looks down at his hand. And he just kind of holds it out to you. He says, what does this mean? I mean, I was obsidian and now I'm green again, like I always was for like thousands of years. I mean, I'm like used to this colors and stuff, but like the little guy, you know,
put a hand on Jot's very small shoulder or whatever and say, hate to be the pessimistic guy right now, but pretty sure your obsidian color was based on the link to Gok, and now that it's gone, he's also gone. There's not a huge chance he's still breathing, buddy.
He just kind of bows his head and he starts weeping again for a moment. And then you see him just kind of reach up under his armpit. And being familiar with the little demon, you know he's got a little secret pouch of some kind hidden in his armpit. And as he kind of starts pulling out this device, you hear a click, clink, clink, and you see the dark shard amulet in his hand.
Ooh. Okay.
I managed to grab this on the ways out. Like, everything was just falling off of those guys, and I just had to get out of this, so I just turned invisible and I ran. I feel so bad for abandoning the boss like that, but
Hey, you don't have to feel bad. We type of peoples, we have a survival instinct. It kicks in, when danger happens, okay?
did you
I
see
ran
that guy
too.
jump out with the oogity boogity and he just did the blasting and then all of a sudden they just went.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't worry, you're not the only one who ran. That's why I'm out here.
Wait,
I know how you feel.
so I mean, like, how did you get away from Dats and stuff? Like, I was just trying to get out. So, like, honestly, I wasn't even looking back.
Rafiki and myself sort of both maybe booked it as soon as the boogity boogity started going on. Unfortunately, I don't know exactly why. I mean, Rafiki's a good guy, but we barely know each other. But he did the whole heroic thing and pushed me through the doorway before the stones fell, and then he didn't make it. Yeah.
So like the guy that like came down here to guide us through these things, like, he's just gone.
Yep. No, he's
Yeah, the only guy that could talk to everything's down here and like just was treated like a god figures to like just everything down here. Thought he was like some kind of like panther gods and stuff, and now he's just gone.
Yeah, no, we're not in the best situation. I mean, I know we just lost all our friends and everything, and I would sit down and sort of cry and stuff, but I'm a little still worried about my well-being because it's dangerous down here, really dangerous.
Yeah, I just want to get out of his. What's going on with this? I mean, are we done with this thing? Like, what happened in this?
I mean, I want to say he got buried and we're done with it, and I'm gonna go over to the doorway and lean my ear against it to see if I can hear anything on the opposite side of the door.
Roll a perception check.
Okay. $12. I got two better.
Okay. You don't hear anything on the other side of the door, but as you have your ear pressed up, you're just kind of listening at this doorway, and you don't really hear anything. It's just dead noise kind of through this stone, and it just, with your dwarven ears and your dwarven senses and your knowledge of stone, it just is like just dead noise, thick stone for as far as you can really tell. And as you're kind of looking over, you suddenly see this small movement, and you just hear this from the corner, from over here. And as your attention is drawn over there, you suddenly see the form of Zig Zag, kind of hiding behind one of these urns, just crumpled to the ground, and he just kind of lightly croaks a small noise.
Ooh. Buddy boy, you're alive. It's like the quickest people were the ones who got out of here. Besides, fucking Rafiki. Rafiki's quicker than me, but whatever. I'm gonna look over Zig Zag and see if he has any actual visible wounds, or if he's just tired from hopping for his life from crumbling area.
He definitely does, look like maybe he took a couple of, stones or something. He seems to have some kind of bruising developing, possibly just hit the corner in an awkward way and passed out or something. Does seem to be kind of coming to his senses again as you're talking to him. He kind of sits up, just shakes his head a little bit, and just kind of cocks his head at you and just...
Yeah, I'm glad you're alive too. We're like the only ones who are, I think. But I'm really glad you're alive. I have no clue if you can fully understand me. I think you can. Can you? Like, nod yes if you can.
He just kind of weakly nods his head.
All right, good. Well, yeah. So that was a shit show. Me, you, and Gok are the only ones who got out of it. But we should probably get moving because even though I only hear pretty much dead silence on the opposite end of that rock wall, the big oogity boogity, of Hokikis or something, he stood up and was, gandering at us. So he might still be alive because he's actually really hard to kill, as we found out. So we might want to move before he, like Berserker Axe weight, swings through the stone and tries to murder us. Maybe.
He kind of just weakly nods at you and puts his hand on this urn that he's been kind of crumpled up behind as he's getting up. And as he does so, it kind of wobbles a little bit, and some of the lid comes off, and a little bit of the oil kind of splashes up and on top of his hand. And as he kind of gets to his feet, he kind of shakes it and smells it, kind of shakes it a little bit, and then suddenly his frog-like brows kind of furrow. And he looks over at you, and he kind of motions like this, and does one of those.
Oh, you want Flint and Tinder? Okay. I'll pull out the Flint and Tinder or whatever it's called.
Okay. He grabs it and he kind of looks around, and suddenly he just kicks at this urn and it splashes all across the ground, and you see him grab another one and he just tosses it down to the ground, splashes it across the ground, and he looks at you and kind of does one of these towards the doorway.
Right. Come on. He's going.
And you see Jot, he's like, yeah, you don't gotta tell me twice there, boss. Let's get out of here. And you see him just quickly through this doorway. And you see Zig Zag as you're kind of running through the doorway, runs over to the other side here, and he tosses down another one of these giant urns filled with this oil. And as he starts running over towards the doorway, he suddenly stops and he looks back at you, and he just kind of gets this angry look on his face, and he just and suddenly these sparks light off of this tinder, and he just throws the whole thing at this oil on the ground, and suddenly it just lights up, and you see it start racing towards these other 4 casks of oil that are still sitting there. And he immediately turns and grabs you and starts shoving you down the hallway in this direction.
Yeah, no, totally go with him as I see.
And,
we're gonna have an
and as you go running around this corner, all of a sudden you see these tribesmen that have been sitting there kind of huddled in this corner in fear, unable to see in the darkness, not even being able to see you as you go rumbling past, so holding their weapons, kind of huddled in fear. Say anything to them on the way by?
It's a moment where it's like, oh my god, you guys are still alive. Wait, oh yeah, no, guys, move this way, come on. And I start like pushing them from behind. It's me, Brasnic, the dwarf, move.
Okay. As you start doing this, all of a sudden, from around the corner, you just hear a ladder. And then all of a sudden, this explosion just rocks this tiny little chamber. And again, stone starts raining down from the ceiling, collapsing in on this whole section. Up above, you guys suddenly hear another rumble. And where you're standing, a whole section of earth suddenly disappears from beneath your feet. Grisellia even reaching out to the nature spirits around you, just not quick enough to be able to call for any kind of aid as you tumble into the blackness below you. And with that, go ahead and bring everybody.
awful lot of cave-ins in this area.
So, as the earth settles and as the dust starts to clear, the three of you suddenly find yourselves in this hole. And before you, as you start to collect yourself and see your surroundings, you see figures kind of huddling. And they seem to also be kind of just shaking off debris, shaking off dust from all of this collected material that just fell from this explosion. Would you like
Damn it, Zig Zag.
He just...
Look, I know we were angry, but blowing up the entire place is not okay.
And then he kind of stops and he kind of looks back and he just kind of pats you on your chest and points down the hallway as he notices these new figures.
Oh.
And as you guys all shake the debris free, the dust.
Law bursts through from any rock and rubble underneath him. Violently. Ah! Seckmoth!
Law, what did you press?
I don't know.
I don't think it was him. I think it was this place. Maybe whatever those are ahead of us. And she's going to, I'm gonna just shake my head real quick, the way like a cat shivers and turn into a jaculi. So she's now like this weird snake creature, which has blind sight, so she can accurately see the things in front of her.
Okay.
Them, it's not a them, we're a people.
So
None of those. A him, hims. Are there any hers? Are there hers? Yeah, there's a her.
There's
The
one.
snake head just tilts.
Did you see that he was
Yeah.
just complaining in the darkness? You sense ahead of you 5 forms. How much detail do you really get from blind sight? That's the question. I would definitely say that you can sense that there's 5 forms ahead of you. 2 of them seem to be kind of to the right, and there seems to be, you know, this passageway about 10 feet wide, and then you see another kind of little smaller group huddled in the corner beyond that.
Guys, corral your weird snake thingy, please. Don't attack. We're not violent, exactly. Unless you're violent. No one wants that.
What's
Law
going on
draws
here
both
now?
his blades.
Oh.
State your purpose.
Oh, we got hostiles. We got hostiles incoming. Yeah.
Jack, calm down, please. Purpose is to survive, you know, not die in an underground passage filled with poisonous air, maybe. Also escape creepy mummy dude with an axe that might make you kind of crazy. Hi, welcome to hell.
Do I believe him?
Roll an insight check. He seems to be very forthright about these things that he has just told you.
Yeah, they're good. And he puts away his swords.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really, like, you know, there's no reason to be lying about what's coming down here, because I just want to get out. Like, whatever whatever ways you guys just came in, can we just get out that way? Because, like, I'm just done being down here. Like, that would be great.
We can't get out that way.
Wait, they just got in that way. Why can we not get out that way?
Look upwards.
Aw, thank you for subscribing, dude. You're awesome. I appreciate you so much. You're my hero. Even if you're not playing in this campaign anymore, you're still my hero. See, if you had the Catman, he could tell you everything.
I missed the Catman already, don't worry.
I'm sad we don't have the Catman. My tree was looking forward to being something that he spoke to all the time. Zoe knows all. She can't share any of it, but she knows it.
Right, because this is not a weird group to run into. As I look and see that, we have a lady who turned into a snake. I think some type of plant. A large, metallic-sounding individual. And that last guy who's... What is that last guy? Last guy, what are you?
He's like...
Tiefling.
Yeah.
Tiefling. Maroon skin, bone white horns, that's me.
Log has sheathed his blades and he strolls up to, I guess, Zig Zag or this grung, this frog creature that is in front, and he states, "I'm Law, apprentice adjudicator to War Wizard Brimley, member of Societas Arcanus. We are here on a mission." And he puts out a hand. He stands there awkwardly with his hand out.
I'll move forward. He can understand us, but he can't really talk common. But yeah, nice to meet you. I'm actually part of the same sort of wizard place you just talked about. I didn't actually know the name because my, I say he's air quotes, teacher wasn't so specific on that. But hey, it's nice for you guys to view. Like,
You know what
your mission is
revealed.
yeah, something like that. I didn't know. I didn't pay too much attention. I was busy learning new magic stuff. Anyways, rescue mission? Yeah? You guys came because you wanted to save a guy, right? Totally.
Negative.
Right.
We are here to look for artifacts.
That might be harder than you expect. You would expect, maybe. Normally you think maybe a temple would be sort of kind of empty or filled with normal little creatures who take up residence, like bats and stuff. But there's worse stuff in here. Also, as I touch your hand and realize it's metal, are you in armor or... Yeah? Armor? Wait, are you human?
I don't know.
Zig Zag had
But
also...
you don't know if you're in armor?
Zig Zag had also just kind of poked your hand as you had kind of held it out to shake his. He just kind of poked you on the end of one of your fingers, and he just kind of has this quizzical look on his frog face. And he kind of looks up at Brasnic, and he just...
I don't know what that means, but yeah, I'm worried about it. Right,
Do you
so...
recognize these individuals?
What's that, man?
Not known to me. And you see the tiefling now standing up, cast prestidigitation on myself to clean. That hurt a bit. Yes, Law is correct. We did not know that a rescue mission was needed, but, well, as you said, you are working for the Society, so this is something we must do. We assist her. So, rescue mission and search for artifacts. Though you said that is difficult. Why?
I wasn't kidding about the giant sort of zombie guy with an axe that can turn you crazy.
I mean, there's
That was not like panic or a lie or whatever. It's real. It's very, very real.
Okay, I was double checking.
Sounds undead.
Complicates
Sounds
things.
evil.
I mean, there's only like all these ancient artifacts that, like some evil people's is like looking for us, and they're like, we gotta stop them from getting them, so they're gonna like open dimensional doors to like all of these terrible places and call all these vast armies of darkness to like destroy the whole, prime material plane. And if we don't get these weapons first, pretty much doomsday is gonna happen. But other than that, there's not really like a whole lot, going on here.
I know he sounds sarcastic, but it's true.
And you guys see, like, sitting on the floor over here, just talking to you, like, this little closet, he was about probably a foot tall. He's got some wings coming off of the back of him. Just a very... how would you describe Jot, Brasnic?
It's hard to describe Jot, okay? He's a character. But he's a good guy. Just, well, okay, to be honest, me and Jot get along really well. Sort of the same mindset. A little poke fun at friends, a little maybe take more loot than we're supposed to, type of thing.
Thieves.
Also, we sort of panic at the same moment and say things that people won't believe, but are completely true. Such as, yeah, no, there really are another group out there who's looking for an artifact to break open portals between stuff and release armies of darkness and the end of days and all that. It was the entire reason we were down here, because again, me and my group, who have sadly recently fallen in, not even really battle, but just like in retribution, I think. We're down here because we're trying to stop this opposite group, because we kind of sort of maybe helped create a weapon that could take over people's minds. It's a dagger called Heartseeker. It's actually very nice, and I kind of want it. But, yeah, no, it's sort of taking control of a Dwergar, and him and his friends are trying to find a weapon that's supposed to be somewhere around here in this place that'll let them sort of open armies of darkness and bring doom and gloom on us all.
I mean, you said you was like looking for something to do, right? Like you just came down here just to investigate some things, so...
Yeah, there's a much bigger mission that you guys could probably help me out with, since, you know, we're all, I don't know about Snake Lady, but we're all apparently part of the whole Arcanum Societas thing. Yeah.
Snake just shakes its head.
I mean, I was just down here because, you know, I was bound to service, you know, to a warlocks and stuff, you know, making me just go wherever he wants to go, so apparently he wanted to go his.
It wouldn't happen to be a warlock there, Tiefling guy.
No, my specialties are more in the reading areas. Wizard of a new form of magic.
Another wizard.
Yeah.
Are you like looking for familiars and stuff? Because I just recently got like this job opening.
Hey, Gok, what the hell, man? Weren't we gonna partner up after?
I'm just saying, you know, you just gotta strike where the opportunities is hot.
I wasn't looking for a familiar, but maybe something could be worked out.
See, this is why I don't like wizards. One thinks there's a know-it-all, one comes and kills everyone, and now the new one wants to take my familiar away from me. Cool.
Is yours? Then no. I would never step on
hey,
another's
I have a free demons over here, okay? I'm just saying I could offer my services and stuff, you know, like a little bit of gold on the side or something, you know. I'm happy to just kind of hang out with yous.
Don't try to play both sides of the fence. If he was the first one you were speaking to, let the negotiations happen there.
Come on, demon to demon, yeah, you know what I mean?
Demon!
I mean, aren't tieflings demons? Or devils? Demons? Devils? Is there a difference? I was never sure on that.
There is a bit of hellish blood in the lineage, but I do not associate with that.
Oh, I mean, so you're just like on the other side of the wars and stuff? Like, I always tried to stay out of that, you know? Like, this is just his blood war going for eons and stuff, so... Demon, devil, whatevers, you know, I'm just a closet over here, and I'm just trying to, you know, make my way through the universe.
Also, Jack
Seckmoth, if what they speak is true, I believe we have an obligation to assist them in stopping this doomsday scenario.
I'm 99% certain, but let me double check real quick.
What does that mean?
You see Seckmoth pull out a case of some sort, a quill and parchment, write something very briefly, in which case I'm writing back to the Societas to brief them as quickly as possible to... The words are nasty zombie thing taking over minds, weapon opening doomsday door, you know, and I'm sorry, your name again?
Oh, Brasnic, Grindstone.
Brasnic of Societas New Learning has informed of Doomsday Weapon, and then I put it in the case to send it.
And Jot, like I'm a full party members over here, you know, like just.
I am so sorry.
They always forget about the familiars.
They do. See, this is why you should hang with me. I've never forgotten you. I've actually talked about you when Gak was just like completely forgetting you were existing.
Yeah, you're right. You're probably right about that. Yeah, you're a good dude.
Also, can I have that necklace?
What necklace? See him kind of show it back into his armpit.
I mean, we'll talk about it later.
He's
also,
talking about this dark shot amulet. It's got like this, you know, demon lord Gratz in it and stuff. You know, he's like imprisoned inside of it, and we gotta make sure that this succubus doesn't get a hold of it because she wants to like basically. Did I say too much?
Sure, piling on him. They knew we had to ease them into this.
There's a lot going on here. Brasnic, you know, we just had the ceiling fall down on us. We got this zombie guy over here with the Death Eater axe that just wants to laser our faces. And then all of a sudden we got these new guys. Like, am I just not supposed to just tell him what he's walking into is over his? I mean...
Just like ease it in. We barely got their introductions. Also, Snake Lady, you're gonna stay a Snake? Because honestly, it's sort of creepy right now. And I know they can't see it. But I've got like 3 or 4... natives over here who might freak out if you sort of slither over or anything like that. So maybe turn back to normal, please?
She just climbs up onto her shrub instead and just like wraps around one of the vines.
Right, because okay.
Like I said, she is our guide. Not part of the Societas. We don't know her all that well. I assume this is a normal response to stress for her, maybe?
I mean, our guy was kind of weird too. He talked to trees, but we're not entirely sure that he could talk to trees. It was weird.
At that, she drops off the shrub and turns back to herself. What do you mean you're not sure? Talking to trees is weird. Excuse me.
Wait, I give you a valid reason to come back to scaring the natives, but then mention a guy who might talk to trees, and that's when he turned back?
No, your criticism of that you don't know if what is wrong with you? Of course things talk to trees. Trees talk back if you take the time to listen.
Zig Zag looks up at you, Brasnic.
Okay.
Just like looks up at you and then looks back at Grisellia.
I mean, it wasn't like... Okay, look. I know a druid, which I think you are too. His name was Alondra. When he did magic and did the whole talking to animals and plants and stuff, you know, there was the arm waving and the chanting and stuff like that. So that one had credence, and I could understand, and you know, there was sort of similar emotions, and that made sense when he talked to trees and plants. The other guy, though, you know, rest his soul, may he find peace type of thing. Didn't do any of that. Like, there was no indication there was actual communication going on, beside him sort of stopping in the middle of our journey, facing a tree, touching it, and then randomly pointing in the direction and saying, that way.
I think your druid was making a show for you. What do you think, Zoe? And the shrub just like shivers.
I mean, he turned into a big giant spider. That was pretty cool.
Law sidles over to Seckmoth. How goes your work?
Do I have a response back from the Societas? Because I did the whole note send thing.
Yeah, no. You would not have gotten a response back yet.
No response yet. So, I think maybe we should get away from where the cave-in was and find a safe area.
Yeah, just to point this out though, because I think the way we have to go back through might have like a giant crayfish type thing. It's sentient, don't attack it. Our guide can talk to it and sort of made sure that it didn't kill us, even though it started off wanting to kill us that way because it was guarding this place.
Fear not, dwarf. Your numbers are bolstered. We will assist in disposing of this giant crab thing.
Don't go rushing to destroy every monster-looking thing that we come across. Many can be reasoned with.
I agree. Yes. Maybe we don't kill the seafood.
Ruby,
Maybe
we can speak with this thing.
Oh, of course, easily. And maybe
I will
don't
follow
throw
your
food to its face. It's not generally going to go over very well.
If you would handle negotiations, I will assist if things go wrong.
I mean, that sounds completely fine, but Brasnic did just say that his guide can also talk to it, so I'm inclined that if his guide already has a repertoire of sorts built, to let him handle it.
You see Zig Zag kind of looks at Brasnic and looks at Grisellia and kind of shakes his hand and says,
Do you understand that?
Grisellia takes a moment to use Mind Link, which allows for Mind Link response, so things can reply to her when she speaks to them mentally, and asks the Grung one more time, a little bit clearer.
"That is so weird."
Yeah, the first time's scary for everybody.
Kind of looks at you for a moment, looks over at Brasnic again with wide eyes, and then looks back at you. "Are you in my mind?"
Yes, to be completely honest about it, yes. Makes it a little bit easier to understand you after all.
That is fascinating. Well, I can't communicate with them. Grung can only speak Grung. I understand
Well,
you all, of course.
Grung can speak to me right now. So what was it you were just trying to say?
Well, it was the Catman that had communicated with them before. I'm not sure of their disposition towards myself.
Perfect. Then I'll handle it. Thank you. She
What
drops
did
the
he say?
mind blink. You guys also wouldn't have known what was going on at all. It's completely telepathy. She would have just gotten awkwardly quiet.
You guys like look at each other while this happens?
This is weird. This is awkward.
Zig Zag looks over at Brasnic and just says,
Gotcha.
"Roar." Just kind of shrugs.
That's fine. Their guide is indisposed. I'll take over.
Our guide is not indisposed. He dead. He got crushed by a bunch of rocks.
Well, I said the same thing, but politely.
How do you politely tell someone else is dead? It's just more like, I'm sorry, someone's dead. It's dead, right?
Law walks over to Brasnic and slowly, carefully puts a hand on his shoulder and says, I understand you've lost a comrade. You're feeling
Like
great
4 or
pain.
5.
As you step closer
My condolences.
with your big metal form, stomping closer, you suddenly see these humans in the corner kind of like start grabbing at each other, and then one of them just kind of taps the other one and just motions down the hallway, says something that you don't understand, and immediately the 3 of them start bolting away from you guys.
Well, gone and scared the natives.
Are they alright?
I mean, they sort of, our guide before, name was Rafiki. He was a tabaxi, sort of looks like a panther. They kind of maybe thought he was their god, I think, because it was a whole native culture thing or something like that. Because when we found them, there was a few of them, and there was like eagle warriors and panther / jaguar warriors. There was a whole little fight. I'm surprised they're still alive. If you guys haven't felt it yet, there's this whole weird air quality thing down here that might burn a little bit. So yeah.
And now that he's brought it up, you guys definitely do notice that there is a quality to the air that's almost amber. And it's a little bit hazy around you, making it a little bit difficult to see.
Law mimics taking in a deep breath, but he doesn't actually breathe, so he just feels fine to me in here.
And the rest of you do feel a light burning kind of a sensation in your nasal passageways, in your esophagus, in your lungs, the longer you spend in this place.
Might not be so good for some of the rest of us, Law.
Explain.
The air has a quality that burns.
I don't feel it.
I don't think you're human.
breathe.
Excuse me?
You don't breathe, dear. You don't breathe. You wouldn't feel it. You don't inhale into your lungs and exhale. It may have no effect on you at all.
Yeah, so like,
He just-
You have one?
500 miles there.
are you like some kind of a golem or something like over here? Is like you just like some kind of just a magical guy? Like what? Somebody make yous or something? Like what's going on with yous?
I don't know.
I'll put a
know
knock
that I'm here
on
to
Law's chest. I knock on Law's chest to see if he's hollow.
Stop that.
I'm just seeing if you're like a living suit of armor or not. I've already met one of those.
I have had enough tests conducted on me with very little result. Very
Yeah,
little
I
explanation.
mean, you're like way different than Tyrone was. Like, he was just like just this suit of armor that was like walking around and being like all animated and stuff. And like you're like just like a whole different thing over here.
Animated armor. Tell me more.
Yeah, it's Tyrone Rock Defender. He was like a member of the party for a while. It's
Nope.
like,
Nope.
what?
Nope.
What do you mean?
Nope.
Nope.
His name is not Tyrone, no matter how many times God wanted to be Tyrone. We're not naming an ancient dwarven suit of armor that can move Tyrone.
It's just because it's dwarven, he seems like Tyrone's not a good name for us. But it's like, the party just made this decision. Like, we were like, this guy needs a name. He's like part of the parties now, and he's like a good friend. He's been saving us like time and time again. Oh wait, no, that was me. That's right.
Law steps closer and looms over the closet. You must tell me everything about this animated armor.
It was like, about 6 foot tall, it was like, just like, it looked like, some ancient dwarf like made it and stuff, and it was really, friendly, attached to Gok. Please don't.
Did they make it here? Was there an apparatus causing the animation?
Are you gonna step on me?
No. He steps back.
Oh, that's good, because I've already been squished by the last big guy, and I didn't want to get squished again.
Fun times with Ortool. I never thought I would grow to like an orc, but he was actually pretty cool.
I mean, as orcs go, I guess.
Oh, well, I mean, the rest of the orcs we met were dicks, so yeah.
They did try to eat us.
They did. They did indeed.
I mean, not to side with your enemies, but are you delicious?
They've never checked, but, no one likes to get eaten.
That's fair.
If I wake up and she's like gnawing on your legs or something, like I'll tell you, boss. Like I'm for sure I got your back. I'm just saying I got your back over there, cause like if she's like just eating a toe or like just like just getting a little taste of a dwarf just to see like like dragons eat dwarves, right? I mean they call it like a delicacy and stuff. Like maybe she wants to be like a dragon. I'm just saying I
I
got
feel
your
like I'm gonna reach into a pouch and pull out like a normal dagger. And like, if you find her eating me, stab first, ask questions later. It's like,
Oh, you're giving me like a sword, boss? He like holds it up to your hands in his little
yes,
closet
sword,
hands.
gosh. Yes, I am, because I make sure that the people who've got my back, I've got their back, and best possibilities. Anyways, we should probably catch up to the other guys.
Does this mean I'm like knighted and stuff?
Yes.
I don't think I have the power to knight people.
I'm gonna call
sure.
myself Sir John anyway.
Whatever. Go for it.
Okay. So
So yeah, this way.
what would you guys like to do? You gonna follow this dwarf around this corner?
Yes.
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 Okay. All right. So as you guys make so in this map, it's not set correct. North is actually to the left from what you see on the map. So the direction you guys will be headed is west. Looking up is east. Looking to the right is south. We'll go over that as necessary. So you guys head west. As you start walking down this hallway, you see in the middle section here that there is a lot of rubble kind of spilling out of what looked to be like a doorway. You can almost see like this plug of stone that looked like it once nicely fit into this portal. Was kind of seems to have been rudely shoved back into place. You can see that the edges are cracked. You can see that it seems to be plugging most of this hole again, and making it unable to see anything beyond in there. And you...
So
Go ahead.
that's where the evil thing with the axe is. Frogman blew it up. So yeah. Onwards.
And you see
There.
Zig Zag kind of just furrow his brow, and he just kind of spits towards the doorway. And as he moves on, you see Jock kind of like looking in there, almost kind of forlornly for a demon. He says, yeah, I mean, like, you said you guys are treasure hunting. There's an awful lot of goodies in there.
Then that's where we should go.
No, okay. While that may be true, and there was this one little sort of like ancient armor set that I really want and love to have. Quinn, evil bad guy with Death Eater axe and powers to summon creatures from like bats and unkillable. So no, just no.
Law would like to look over this area closer, see if there's any way he can get a handhold in, perhaps try to physically move the rubble.
Okay. Go ahead and roll investigation.
You never listen. Woohoo!
Okay. It seems to be plugged pretty solidly.
Perhaps there's another way around.
I mean, it was sort of a chamber, solid chamber after that room. But not really another way around, unless the bad guy, like, cleaves his way through solid stone outwards, which I really hope isn't true.
Yeah, I mean, there's like this little smaller chambers in this, right? And then like there's like all these ends filled with like oils and stuff, and then there's like all these glyphs all over these doors, and it was like saying, "Do not enter here. Woe to everybody that enters. You will all die and be cursed 1,000 times," and like all of this kinds of stuff. And then we like tried to go in there anyways, and this guy just got zapped and sent out of nowheres, and then just like that was the first guy that went away, and then we finally got in this, right? And then there's like this coffin in the middle of it, like this big sarcophagus and stuffs. And there's like all of these like just like carvings and runes like all over it, like telling the story about this like this ancient, like, this dude that was like a high priest of like some evil like vampiric god or something like that, and he was like sacrificing peoples and like drinking their bloods and stuffs, and he was like just this really wicked bad dudes, right? And so like I guess they just like buried him in this old crypt like just thousands and thousands of years ago, and we kind of woke him up, and yeah, kind of went really bad from there.
So you woke a vampire.
It's some like a vampire cleric guy. He's just a really bad guy.
Yeah.
Well, did you really think you were going to be in a place like this without, as you put it, a really bad guy?
I mean, we was just looking for that axe, to be honest.
Yeah. Also, when party members don't listen to other party members, bad things happen, such as dropping a fireball and waking the dead.
Yeah, that happened.
Perhaps we should continue finding your friends.
I mean, I really don't have any friends left, besides Jot and Zig Zag. Those are just like, again, random native guys who
they thought
came back from
Rafiki was like some kind of a jaguar gods, because I guess like down here is like, jaguars are like just super like, like just really worshipped and stuff. Like I guess these people's like really like him, so like they thought he was like some kind of gods. They just like fell at their knees and started worshiping him and stuff, and we was all like, wow, that's really weird.
Jaguar makes sense.
also
Law
kind of funny.
Steps back to Seckmoth and like whispers over to him, "What is a jaguar?"
You say, do I know what a jaguar is? Have I read about one?
Roll a history check. You're a learned individual.
Can you smirk in Druid? Is that like a language for smirking when people ask questions about what a creature is to a wizard instead of their druid?
Hello?
Yes, the answer after that history check is yes, you can smirk in Druid.
yes, you can. No, the terminology doesn't really seem to be too familiar.
It is a thing of some sort. I don't know.
Understood.
Chuck kind of looks over at Grisellia, like, you want to tell him, or should I tell him?
She just shrugs, just enjoying their little back and forth.
Onward.
Okay.
I wouldn't.
Answer's good. Let's move on. Okay. All right. So you guys approach this door to the west here. Brasnic, are you gonna make your way through that bad boy?
How did the bell go? Yeah, Law, you want to go ahead and go first?
Understood.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're gonna poke your head through there.
Is this a solid door?
This is, and most of the doors that you've seen, well, I guess this is the first door you've seen, it does seem to be a very large door made out of stone. When you start to move it a little bit, it does kind of just rumble a little bit as it slides open. But it does actually seem to open easily enough despite the ancient nature of this place.
Law pushes his way through the door.
Okay. So as it kind of slowly grinds open, as you step through the door and this kind of thicker portal opens up, you suddenly hear this from the next room, and as you poke your head through, you suddenly see this claw reach out and just right around the neck of this human, and you see this head just pop off with a spray of blood as it did. The neck just kind of fountains out, and you see the body just yanked forward. And as you start moving further in, you see this gigantic crayfish-like creature starting to rip an arm off and stick it into its mouth. You see another crayfish-like creature, kind of with its claws, reaching out towards another human who seems to be standing there with his sword, trying to battle this thing. And behind them, you see a female standing there with her bow, shooting arrows at these creatures.
Seeing all this, Law immediately draws his blades and runs right at the crawfish that he just saw decapitate the human.
Okay.
And there he goes. And you. I mean, I warned you guys about the whole giant crayfish guys, right?
Go ahead.
I did say that.
If you would like to join us, go ahead and grab your token and roll initiative.
You guys are going to want to join him, aren't you?
I'm gonna at least attempt to talk to it. Hopefully, Seckmoth can talk him down.
No,
Alright,
there's no talking him down.
Oh, good. Good.
Alright, so they pull out my blades, like, get ready for it.
Should I put myself back near the door? Where do you want me placed for this initiative? I can't hear you.
Sorry, I had muted myself. Go ahead and we'll place you there. Since you're going to draw your weapons and charge, we'll call that the start of initiative. That's interesting. I don't know why it's doing that. That's not supposed to happen. What's going on? Aha. Technology. Don't worry, guys. I'll be good at this one day. All right. So we are going to start off with the crayfish here today. And this one here had just kind of killed off this guy, so we'll give him the big red X of death. And so this crayfish is going to move forward and suddenly attacks this woman with the bow. There's my crayfish. Alright, so it's going to get 2 claw attacks. Oof.
It's murder.
Just murdered in the first attack. Does it not roll damage automatically? 1d10 plus 2.
You should be able to click the attack in chat.
Yeah, if you click the name of the attack, it should roll the damage.
Oh, there it goes. Okay. Alright. So she needs to roll a DC 12. Oh wait, how much damage is that? Did that roll twice?
11. You crit it on the first attack, remember?
Yeah, that just rolled the crit.
Alright. Oh, she's not dead. It does grab her though, and you see it just kind of like sink into her sides. You can just hear the ribs crunching as she screams out in pain, and it just kind of pulls it back towards it. It kind of snaps at her again, but misses. But you can see it getting ready to kind of stuff this woman, this female form, into its mouth. This one is going to attack this fine gentleman over here. Oof. miss. It's gonna get you guys in a fight right away. Don't worry about it.
Good.
Thanks, Law.
Yeah, I blame Law completely. I warned
What
about
happens
this.
when you let him go first?
You're welcome.
But it's a doorway, and I have a thing.
He does have a thing with doorways, it's true. Alright. So that is going to be the crayfish's turn. So you see all of this happen kind of right before you Law. What would you like to do about that, sir?
Is it my turn?
It is your turn.
Oh, wonderful. So, the archer is grappled.
Currently grappled, yes.
I would like to move over and try to assist her in being free. I want to try to stick my blades in there and pry open the claws.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a strength check with a DC of 12.
I'm going to position my character 5.
So that's 20 feet, or 15 feet to there. She can move diagonal.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, that's a save. Pardon me.
Yeah, no, go ahead and roll athletics.
Better.
Yeah, that's much better. Okay, so you come over, and as you just gonna kind of dig your blades in between the claws and try and pry them apart?
Yes, to release the archer.
Okay. So you do manage to get your blades in there, and as you're kind of like struggling to get this claw apart, you see it just kind of like slowly spreading, and you hear it kind of start chittering. And what appears to be some sort of a language.
That action was would that count as my first part of an attack action, or will that be my whole primary action? Can I make a second attack?
Do you have second attack, right? You have a second attack?
I have multi-attack.
Right. Yeah, you're good. You can do the second action. You would also have a bonus action.
Mm-hmm. Then I am going to attack it.
Okay. Roll that beautiful bean footage. There's not going to be quite enough to hit. Okay, so as you play the claws free, she kind of is able to step back a little bit. She just kind of slumps to it's like a wet silt that's on the ground here. And as she kind of like falls down, her hands just kind of plop into like the mud-like, very wet mud-like substance. And she's just bleeding out from the sides now. As you kind of turn and you swipe towards this giant crayfish, it kind of backs up in kind of a defensive position, and kind of snapping its claws towards you. Again, chittering in this language.
I would like to use my bonus attack or my bonus action for my offhand longsword.
Okay. Just answering everything with the sword.
I just saw him murder somebody.
That's true. 17 is going to be good enough to hit.
I slash down at that same claw, basically trying to sever it.
Okay. How much damage did you do on that?
9 slashing damage.
9 points of damage. As it hits the claw, it doesn't sever anything, but you definitely see a huge crack kind of go down the armor, the chitinous armor of this being. And you hear it kind of shriek out in this kind of chittering language, like an exclamation of pain.
Back!
Okay. Beautiful. You know what we're missing right now? Some combat music. Okay.
Oh, I know this song.
So, who is next? Is that the end of your turn, sir?
That is the end of my turn.
That's right. Let's fucking get after it. Ba-da-da! Alright, so let's see who is next here. Oh, it's Zig Zag. Zig Zag! To the rescue. Alright, he is going to 20, 25 feet through the doorway. He is going to sidestep for that last 30. And as soon as he gets through the doorway, he pulls out his bow, but he starts croaking very quickly, almost admonishing you from the corner, croaking at you in your direction. Law.
Excellent. Backups here. Fire!
Okay. He pulls his bow back and he fires right towards your feet as the arrow plunks into the sill near your feet in between you and this creature. And he pulls-
As
I
an
look at it and look at him and look at the arrow, not completely understanding.
he pulls
As a
out
note, Mind
another...
Link is active still for an hour.
Huh?
He can still talk to Grisellia inside her head for an hour.
Okay.
So anything he wants to relay to her, he still has the ability. Whether or not he knows that, completely separate.
This is true. Let's roll an intelligence check. This music. Alright. Where is my little frogman? Oh, little frogman. Intelligence is not his forte. Clearly not. Clearly not what the little frogman specializes in. So he does not realize that he might still be able to talk to the druid in this moment. So he does pull another arrow, and he knocks it to his bow, but he seems to be just kind of looking at you, Law, and kind of frowning in your general direction, but he doesn't let loose with the second arrow.
Law looks back at him confused.
Seckmoth. Did I not start at 16?
No, you did.
That's what I was
I
looking
started
for.
with Law.
Yeah, I was
and,
confused too.
I'm sorry. I thought that it had automatically went to the highest turnover. That's my fault. We'll get
Yeah, it
through
was more
Seckmoth.
thematic.
We'll get through Seckmoth and go through it this way. That's fine.
Okay.
Live stream D&D. I'll be good at this one day, guys. I promise.
Well, I'm gonna move up to survey the situation.
Okay.
Can't see. My push to talk screws up roll 20.
Is that
He's
as
asking
far?
to see the situation.
Which doorway did he walk through? The one straight in front of me?
Yes, sir. So you're at 20 feet to here?
Yeah, it's 20. And then I'll corner for 1.
Okay.
Just gonna get right up behind Law and... gotta learn spell.
I think it's okay.
You see Seckmoth pull into a pouch, remove some sort of powder, waves his hand up behind Law, tosses the powder out, and I'm gonna cast Enlarge on Law.
Okay. Let's go ahead and make him a large law. Suddenly, the robot man increases in size.
So for you, the Law, that means that you have an extra d4 of damage if you do damage, and your strength and strength checks and saving throws are at advantage.
It is a nice boon.
Law, maybe double check with them. Remember, they said something about an accord with these things.
I saw this thing kill somebody. We must stop them.
Yep, I'm not stopping them, guys.
Okay. Is that the end of your turn, sir? Is that the end of your turn for Seckmoth?
End of your turn, Seckmoth?
Yeah, that's it. That's everything that burns all my... Nothing bonus action, so...
Alright, top of the order. Sorry about that, Quinn. I totally apologize for that. 16.
I mean, sounded like a good start off. It was the whole
Yeah. It was
thematicness to it, so I'm cool with it.
It kind of...
I look back at Gok and say, oh crap, we have more of a goody two-shoes party. This might not end so well.
Jot?
But yeah, I called through the doorway. Yeah, I remember, guys, I told you about this. The whole maybe not fighting them because we have an understanding. I know that yell was probably them killing someone, but I'm not entirely sure these people are real. They used to be figurines, so I mean like actual toy-sized figurines. So, yeah. I turn to our druid lady and say, "Yeah, you might be able to talk them down, maybe, kind of, and maybe if you can, try to also stop the robot guy. But yeah, I'll be back here if something goes wrong." But yeah, you might want to get in there, and I'll stand in the doorway with my bow and arrow, my short bow and arrows at the ready to, if she can't stop it, I'll fire off, like hold an action to fire an arrow if the violence doesn't stop. But otherwise, that's all I'm doing right now.
So with this information, you guys would remember that when you were back at the Societas Arcanus at the institution, you remember when you were being debriefed about this mission that they had spoken about some ancient rituals or some ancient magic that seemed to be able to imbue life, true life, into inanimate objects. And as the process to creating Law was destroyed while rescuing his prototype form, your benefactors the leaders at the institution decided that perhaps maybe this could be a link. Somehow this ancient and long forgotten magic that was used to bring life to the inanimate. Perhaps this is what was used in the creation of law.
Yeah, that's the end of my turn. Just holding the fire shot if the violence doesn't stop when the druid intercedes.
Perhaps there is another vested interest in saving these humans. So, that being said, let's go ahead and move to one Grisellia. What would you like to do?
Well, first, get in the room.
Okay. So you'd be at 20 feet to there.
So that's my big dude, right?
Yep. And he is very big all of a sudden. Like when you step into this chamber, you see Law just massively sized, twice as big as he was before.
Well, that puts a damper on my original plan. Damn and large. I had a plan. Alright, so first thing she's going to do is use Speech of the Wood, which allows her to talk to beasts.
Okay.
And tell the crayfish, we're trying to rein in our friend, please just back away from him. We want to talk. He's just frightened.
Oh.
And then just yell to Law that he needs to you need to calm down. We'll talk to him. We can save them.
He just killed someone. We have to stop these things.
And you say this with your voice, vocally, or with your mind?
Vocally.
Okay. So as you step in and you're saying this, the one that's kind of closer to Law, kind of facing off with Law, you see it kind of like shake its claw a little bit and like, oh, you hear that, Bill? Well, she's talking to us. And across the way, and only you can understand this, Grisellia, the other one says, oh, I just tried to have a little lunch over here. Why does everybody want to come through?
Your lunch is what set off our friend.
Oh, what? We're just trying to have a little light snack. Why, you just want to come in here swinging at me?
She just looks back and forth between Law and the crayfish, just...
Kind of pulls in its claw a little bit more.
This is not how I wanted to say hello.
Okay.
And that's kind of the end of her turn. Since Law is giant, it ruined everything else I had going on, and she's not ready to fight crayfish yet.
Okay. So, as you say this, you suddenly see this giant boulder that had kind of dominated the center of the room suddenly starts shaking. Starts kind of rumbling back and forth, and suddenly just you see these huge claws kind of come out of it, and you see it as all of these crab-like legs kind of extend out from this boulder, and as it stands up, you realize that it's not stone. It's indeed a giant shell of a hermit crab. And as this creature turns towards you, swinging this huge shell, its claws kind of come back to form and says, well, more supper has arrived.
Zillia's just gonna yell back through the doorway, well, talking's off. Looks like it's fighting. That's the plan, guys.
You have awoken,
Okay.
Cloacus Popola class. Despite my warnings, You were told what would happen. Now.
Oh yeah.
Now you must die.
Once she says that and it continues to talk, from where I am, can I see any of the crayfish or giant
You can
crab
see
guy?
Kalka.
Kyla? Can I see the crayfish or no?
No, that'd be kind of to the side.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, as soon as she says that, we're gonna fight, she's gonna let loose an arrow past him towards the crayfish guy.
Okay.
Also going like, oh yeah, he did say something about it.
Yeah, I seem to remember that too now. Okay, go ahead and make that roll. Oof.
Yeah.
That's not quite
There you
gonna
go.
do it, my friend.
Nope.
Okay. So as you release that shot, it kind of sails over Kalka, kind of just not even really noticing, kind of like makes, a little side-eye notice of it as it goes over. Says, you realize we're all the protectors here, and you've awoken the lot of us. Have fun with that. Start shelling crab-like towards you. And as it gets to here, just swipes out at this human to the right.
How did your new friends die? I didn't run them sufficiently enough about protectors, stuff, that type of stuff. So yeah.
Just saying. All right. No, that's not going to hit. But at this person that is prone on the ground over here. Is going to hit. And as Kakakaila kind of shuffles forth, snapping out at this jaguar warrior who's just able to barely duck underneath the swipe of the claw, Kakakaila lashes out and with the other one just grabs a hold of this archer, this female form that's laying on the ground, just snaps her right along the midsection where she was already kind of like half cut through from the claw of the crayfish, and you see the spine just kind of snap, and she just instantly grabs the upper form, and while the woman is still screaming in her death throes, reaches up and stuffs her head into the mouth of this giant creature.
Law is literally vibrating with fury.
Okay. Oh, well, all right then. Let's take him out. As this crayfish turns to you, La, and lashes out at you with its claws. One time, and then a second time. Imagine that second one hits.
Second one hits.
10 points of damage. As this thing grabs a hold of you, you are going to be grappled, and the escape will be at that DC of 12. Okay. That would be the first one. The second one is going to swipe again at this warrior in front of it. I think a hit. Not a hit. And that one is going to go ahead and finish off this other human as well. And as the last of these warriors falls to the ground, these warriors that Brasnic had just talked about, once being inanimate clay objects that have been brought to life, falls to the silt, sinking into the mud. The crayfish looks up towards the rest of the party and immediately charges. Okay, so that is going to bring us right to law. And I realize what happened to my battle music. Come on now. Can't lose the battle music. Alright.
It's
Law. Actually, well, nope, I'll do that at the end of the round. Does it sound like it's double playing
I only hear it once.
the song? This is so weird. Okay. Alright. Law, what would you like to do?
Icon is a large creature now, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
But I'm still grappled by the claw, just like around my thigh, ankle, something.
Yeah, basically it had just grabbed you kind of around your midsection, but it's just kind of got like that open claw on you. It's not even really grappling you, it's just around whatever it can manage to get its claw around.
Law sees the two figures that were just brutally killed by these claw creatures, and he is seething with anger. He's going back to why he's here, the fact that they're here to find a reason, or that there is a theory that there might be an artifact here or something giving actual life to inanimate objects. And of course, he empathizes with this. This is him, as far as he can tell. And in his rage, you see a bit of ghostly shimmering energy emanating from his body, and then he manifests an echo.
All right.
How do I make the echo big?
Go ahead and drop it on the map, and I'll get that for you. Where would you like to manifest it? Right there? Holy moly, that's a big echo.
Can he fit between the crab that is grappling Law and the mother hermit crab?
No, that'd be a shared space.
Okay. What about right there? Is that still shared?
I mean it is, but I would allow it. Because you're kind of standing over the person at that point.
I mean, that person is also dead.
Or the crab. Tail end of the crab.
Is an escape attempt the entire action?
I think when you use it that way, yeah.
Yeah,
Even
looks
with
like a
the-
normal grapple.
Right, even with the multi-attack, because your attack action is basically 2 swings.
So I could make the multi-attack or attempt an escape.
Right.
I'm going to attack.
Cool. You don't feel particularly intimidated by this grapple?
I can still attack while grappled, I just can't move, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So while Law is grappled, the echo appears, and the echo attacks the hermit crab, or the crab that is grappling Law.
Okay.
Let's see if I did this right.
Oof. Not a great roll, my friend.
He tries again.
Okay.
$15, does that hit?
That is exactly what you needed to hit, my friend.
8 slashing damage.
Plus
Okay.
a D4 because I'm alert.
Plus the...
Yeah, roll a d4 because you're enlarged.
You should definitely do that.
What's the best way to do that?
There's a, on the left side, there's a column of tools. There's a little one that looks like a D20. If you click on that, it'll pull up a dice roller. Okay.
So that's 11 total?
11 total. All right. So you're able to kind of bury your sword right into between a couple of the plates on this chitinous armor on this creature, and just kind of buries itself right into the arm of the claw that's holding you. Not quite enough to make it dislodge, but you can see it's definitely reacting to the strike.
And then Law will utilize Unleash Incarnation, attacking once more.
Okay. Is that bonus action? Oh,
Oh, class ability.
cool. Okay.
Yep, just happened.
Yep. All right, go for it.
I will roll the d4.
Natural one.
So
You don't need to.
I'm not room. Oh,
there's this. They don't know about this, do they? So, as a
Oh,
part,
got that one.
as a part of
yeah,
my
we'll roll
game,
that one, yeah.
I have this bad boy. So I'm going to need you to roll a 1d100.
Okie dokie.
Because this is going to determine how bad of a fail that really is, my friend. So we got a 15. 15 is a slip. You roll dex or less on a d20, no modifiers, or fall, and you're stunned. The 1 to 4, 1 to 6, all that, I just modified to be a 1 round. So I thought it was too strong if it was more than that. So go ahead and roll a d20, and you want to roll your dexterity score or less. Oof. What's that dex of yours?
My dex is 12.
Yeah, that was well above your dexterity score, my friend. So, as you're swinging your sword, the momentum of it, you kind of like pulling the one sword free. And oh, you have the which one
this
struck
was the
before?
Echo attacking.
This was the Echo
and
attacking, wasn't it?
The Echo is immune to all conditions.
Okay. Okay. Well, there is that. So it does. I think I should still slip and fall, but not be prone. So basically, what's going to happen is it swings at it. It kind of clangs off of the chitinous armor there. It does kind of cause the Echo to stumble a bit, but it's able to kind of like coalesce itself back up to its standing form, pretty much not having any extra effect. But now you guys know, crit fails come with an extra penalty.
Not my best showing.
At least it's not a bunch of capuchin monkeys dressed up in tweed jackets and little corncob hats and singing songs at you.
That's
I miss-
entirely too specific.
It's because it used to be a thing. I miss those monkeys. It was
It
hilarious.
used to be a thing. I used to run a show called The Battle Arena, and it was a PvP arena. Every week, players would create whatever fantastical creations they could make, and I would pit them against each other and against NPCs, some kind of an enemy for them to defeat, as well as fighting each other. And anytime someone rolled a natural 1, the monkeys would come out and sing, "You had a 1 in 20 chance to be a loser," and then go into the rest of the song. And then, of course, there was the natural 20 song as well, which was awesome. And I'm not going to sing that one because it's much more energetic than I want to sing right now. So, but it was fun, and so that's why it was so oddly specific. So, there is that. There's no monkey singing at you, so we're okay there. Zig Zag. He kind of like just hangs his head, and he kind of looks over at Grisellia, and you just hear this voice in your mind said, "Oh, they're gonna kill everything in here, aren't they? There's ancient and powerful and wise creatures in here." And he just kind of shakes his head, and you see him disengage, and he starts hopping off and away in this direction. That is going to bring us to Seckmoth.
Okay. Well, it looks like we're doing this. And I'm sorry. I'm going to give us some breathing room. I apologize for him. I proceed to clap my hands together, pull them apart, and you see the air warping and twisting as I use.
Here comes all that
Pulse
news.
wave, 30-foot cone. So 30-foot cone off me. I'm cutting through both the one on my left and the hermit crab.
Okay.
So the crayfish on the left and the hermit crab in a cone. They need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Interesting.
15 DC.
That would definitely get both of them. You said Constitution?
Yeah.
This crayfish seems to be okay.
All right, so they'll take half damage.
Coca-Cola is not so okay. How much damage did you say?
Not. That'll take full. It's 66 damage, and if they failed, which the hermit does, I'm choosing push. It's going to get pushed away from me by 15 feet.
Okay, go ahead and roll that damage.
I'm trying to figure out how to do 66 on screen.
There's the dice roller. You could just click that and it'll pull it up and it'll give you the option to be able to do the advanced roll, and you can set the number of dice you want to roll.
Either that or in chat you can do /r space 1, 66. That also works.
Yep.
So 12.
No, that was me rolling.
Oh, that was you.
Yeah, that was
Oh.
six. That was
Whoa,
60 total.
wait, nope, that's...
You do not get to do
Ah,
44 points of
60,
damage.
20.
Go Seckmoth.
44 points of damage to everything. So 24
Wow,
points.
24.
24 points is still.
Damn.
All right. So as your hands kind of come apart and this magic just explodes out from your fingers, you see it just kind of wash over this giant crayfish, and it just kind of like hunkers down a little bit, and as it's able to kind of allow it to wash over it a little bit, but Kalka Kyla takes it full to the face And you see this giant crab-like creature just blasted backwards, and it kind of rolls back on its shell a little bit and slides through the silt, and then just kind of rocks back, catches itself with its giant crab-like legs. Just kind of shakes its head. Well, darling, let's make it a fight then. Of course, you don't understand this.
Yep, I'm gonna take the chance. I'm gonna try and back into the hole.
Okay.
Can I get through, Zella?
It would be a double movement, I think. I
Yeah.
think it's considered difficult terrain to go through
Would be
another
difficult terrain to get past Grisellia, and then there would be an opportunity attack.
Yep, I'm gonna take that opportunity to attack. I'm gonna.
Okay. Go ahead and move. We'll see what this guy thinks about that. It's a 12 hit.
Uh, 12 does not, because mage armor is still up. It's 8 hours.
So as you are sneaking past, you kind of like get next to Grisellia, and you're kind of like pushing past, and then all of a sudden she's like, "Look out!" And as you look back, you see this claw coming in right at you, and you're able to kind of like get your magical the force of it around as it just kind of bounces off this kind of bluish energy around you, as you're able to kind of protect yourself and back through her space and through the doorway.
Nope. Do something.
Okay. And at the end of your turn, sir.
Yep, that's the end.
Okay. That is going to bring us to the top of the order. Man, time is really flying. It's already been a couple hours in. I usually, after about the 2-hour mark, I like to I know, right? I usually like to take about a 2-minute break, just real quick, grab a drink, use the restroom, any of that kind of stuff that you guys want to do. Anyone that's watching, please hang out with us. We'll be back here in 2 and 2, and we will continue this fight. We'll be right back. We made it. Yes, that is in fact a reference to the Love Connection for any of you that are old enough to remember that show. Be right back in 2 and 2 was what, Chuck Woolery. Oh my god, Chuck Woolery would say that every time they went to a commercial break. And I'm bringing it back because this is very much like the Love Connection on this show.
Sure.
And we are celebrating our love for D&D every single week at Sunday at 6 p.m. on the Fireside.
For a second, I thought there was about to be a very awkward encounter with a crayfish, and I was still kind of here for it. Not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm here for this. Okay, well, keep that in mind for future episodes. In this episode, there was a fight that was started by a giant middleman. So,
Ah,
I mean,
I say
killed
they started it.
first.
they were killing innocent humans. I mean, they were having lunch.
We don't even know if they're real people.
Yeah, they're not even real people, guys.
What does that mean?
So, we...
Huh?
I mean, just
I guess
because
while you're talking. is what
created
that
by magic, I mean, does that count?
It absolutely counts.
We're having existential debates on the Fireside Tales. It's true, and I am known to put my players in a certain moral quandary every once in a while, so it's good times. You'll see, is a middleman really a human? Is a middleman really a man? We will find out.
Yeah.
The answer is yes. All right, so we are at the top of the order, and we have one Brasnic Grindstone who has found some new friends that might actually be able to help him survive this place. What do you think about that?
Yay! But also new people, new personalities. numerous quandaries that I might be not okay with, since I swear to God used to be kind of neutral.
Well, you know. New possibilities.
Plus, I mean, one guy's name is literally Law. And I'm
behavior shouldn't have shocked us.
I'm just saying, his name is Law. I'm a rogue.
Too subtle.
Two on the nose. Alright. What would you like to do with this moment?
Let's go ahead and go through the doorway.
Okay. It will be difficult terrain through the doorway as you are entering into Grisellia's space.
There? So what, that's a total of like 15 feet? Or
Yeah,
20 feet?
something like that. I didn't see where you were positioned this time. So.
I was 5 feet from the door.
5, 10, 15, yeah.
Okay.
20 actually because of the difficult terrain. Sorry.
Yeah, there you go. So 20 in total. And dropping the short bow, I'll pull out my vicious short sword and give the crayfish a good old stab. Hopefully.
Okay. Stabby. That's natural 8.
15?
15 to hit. On the crayfish?
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what you need to.
Alright, well, since I have my new ally next to me and the crayfish, I get that lovely sneak attack.
Okay.
So, there you go. 19 damage in total with the wonderful sneak attack.
19 damage?
Yep, 19 magical piercing wounds.
As you kind of duck, you bob and weave under like a swing of the claw, and you just get right down in there, and you're able to just kind of bury it right into the shoulder joint side of the head on this creature. And as you kind of pull it out, you know, the ichor kind of like starts spilling out. You hear it kind of start chittering out in this language that only Grisellia seems to be able to understand. It says, Bob, they're killing me, Bob.
Oh.
Kind of bad.
Oh. Grisellia has this guilt.
That crayfish.
Also, Brasnic, you're under-rolling your sneak attack, I think.
5th level?
Oh no, your sneak attack is listed as weapon damage. Never mind, I'm dumb and not reading things properly. It's cool.
Yep, it's okay.
Okay.
And seeing as I saw the crayfish lash out at our new wizard friend before, I'm gonna be confident enough that it can't react fast enough for me to be able to dart, using a bonus action to dash over here.
Okay. All right, you are definitely able to bob and weave under one of the claws and make your way through the silt in this chamber. Actually, go ahead and roll a dex check for me, because this chamber is very slippery.
Okay.
And I forgot about it.
18.
Yeah, you're good. You definitely, you know, the feet slip around a little bit, but you're able to kind of just go right with the sliding and get to where you want to be.
And then my last thing to do on my turn would be like, Zig Zag, you gonna help, buddy?
So any character who uses the dash action or tries to fight within the room must succeed on a DC 10 dexterity saving throw or fall prone. So keep that in mind going.
So if I try to move, I have to make a DC 10?
Well, if you dash. If you try to fight, you will have to make that dex check. So you do that. So Grisellia, kind of just heard what you heard. In the middle of this fight.
I don't like this at all. Alright, so she's just gonna look around a little bit panicked. Close her eyes, inhale, and exhale deeply. And when she reopens them, presuming roll 20 stops lagging. A giant constrictor snake pops up, maybe.
Maybe.
Come on, roll 20.
Holy snakes.
Yeah, apparently today we're snake girl. That's fine.
You have options, so I mean, pick your day.
Today is a snake day.
Today is snake.
Tomorrow might
There
be
we
a bear.
go.
Sometimes you need some snake in your life.
Oh my gosh, this dice roller is like lagged me out completely just
This
from
is a
restarting
heavy
it.
map as well. So. May or may not
Like
be
it,
moving to a new VTT, and in that one I was able to break the map down into smaller chunks, much more manageable. But this one's great. It's a good service. It's been serving us well for a long time. That's the thing.
So we're gonna say the snake is spawned there,
Okay.
and it is going to try to constrict the big guy.
Okay. Where did you come from? You don't have to be so crabby. Holy dice.
That is a lot more dice than it should have rolled.
Okay.
I think I accidentally clicked it more than once. Oh no, it's not. 2d8 plus 4. That is the correct dice.
With
But
an
I'm
attack of
assuming an 11 does not hit.
11 did not hit. That's true. So as the snake kind of strikes out, it hits against the shell of this giant hermit crab, and you see these two monstrous creatures facing off against each other.
We really don't want to fight you. Law, come on, let's just leave the room and let them be.
They're murderers. We have to stop them.
I don't think it's that black and white, Law.
They just killed these people.
They just ate dinner. Seckmoth has killed as much as they do.
Is this true, Seckmoth?
Only in defense.
Really, your dinner was attacking you? You ate it in defense. In defense of what?
I mean, you know,
Someone shoots an arrow at me, I shoot back.
he's defending his stomach, right? You know, you get that hunger over his, and you know, you just want to just have a little rabbits or something, make a little stew, like a little pot pies or something out of it.
Law, I just don't think this issue is as simple as you think it is, and I really think we should back away and talk to them. I can hear them. They're not evil.
Just to point out, because I forgot to tell you guys this earlier, and I feel bad, but they warned us not to wake the bad guy in the chamber I told you about. And if we did wake him, they might be mad and try to kill us. So, of course, probably past the whole point where we can be like, hey, no, this was a mistake. More of, we broke the rules and they're gonna kill us now.
Just turn my head around and narrow my eyes. Good timing on that information. Thank you just so very much. You're just the most helpful person we've met so far.
Hey, look, I just lost everyone I knew besides John. Leave me alone. It's a little hard.
And that is the end of her turn.
Okay. What's up, Ben? Good to see you, my man. Thanks for joining us. That's awesome. Much love. So that is going to bring us right to Calcutta. And seeing this giant reptile here, immediately obviously turns to this giant threat. And you hear, Fispena. No. A servant, perhaps. Cannot challenge another of the gods. And just kind of puts out a claw towards this creature. And almost seems to be like commanding it to obey. But you hear it say these words. You should not be attacking another of the gods. And it doesn't attack the snake. It seems to be holding its action. This crayfish, however, the one next to you, Grisellia, seems to be, it's the one that Brasnic just stabbed, and it very clearly seems to be favoring this spot where the short sword had stabbed it. And it seems to want to be like starting to like kind of back away from you a little bit. This one over here, and again, you're the only one that hears this. And it says, oh, I got you, Bill. I got you, friend. And it comes over, and it seems to be trying to grab a hold of this other crayfish and pull it away from Grisellia, from that direction, seeming to almost, in its rush to help its friend, kind of obliviously exposing itself to harm from this giant metal creature that's with you.
It's released me from the grapple, or is it tried to bring me with it?
No, it released you. Seems to be going over to somehow help its friend.
As soon as Laws is released, he raises both of his blades, and then his echo turns and looks at him and puts a hand up. And Laws stops. And he does not take an opportunity attack.
They do seem to be trying to move across the room very slowly. And that's going to be the end of their turn, and it is Law's turn. What would you like to do about this situation?
Why did it let me go? Druid, why did it let me go?
His friend is hurt. That's the bigger problem.
Law is conflicted. Just saw these guys murder a bunch of people, but he's hearing the druid. Is my movement at all increased when I'm enlarged?
I don't think so.
Okay. Law moves. Let's see if I can figure this out.
Click and drag token, move token, right click the plot a point, and when you're done with your movement, drop it, and it should show up as your movement for us, and a line for you. Like a yellow line with plot points.
Yeah, you gotta click and hold with the left button, and then right click every time you want to make a step. You have to initiate it once with the right click, and then every time you step, you right click. Push to talk, so.
Got you. I got it. Okay, Law places himself right here to block Grisellia and try to cover Grisellia from these crabs. Is that fine, or is that an overlap?
It's fine. You're very tall, vertically, and they're they're crayfish, so they're not very tall. So I could see you sharing a little corner space easily enough.
The Echo will this movement provoke opportunity attack?
From the Echo?
Yeah. The Echo could.
Nothing attacks you.
Okay, the Echo moves in place to try to cover Brasnic.
Okay. So Brasnic,
And-
you see this ghost-like, translucent, almost image, almost made of blacks and grays, just striding over towards you. Again, just this huge lumbering monster, twice as big as the original log that you met. Kind of takes a defensive position in front of you.
Pat its leg, like, cool, I got a guardian. But you're weird and see-through.
That's new.
And Law glances over his shoulder. Oh, okay. Law glances over his shoulder at Grisellia, and he just kind of gives like a questioning. Is this right? This good? He doesn't say anything. He just kind of gives her a little nod and waits for any sort of confirmation from her as to whether or not he should attack or anything.
She just smiles and just nods, holding up a hand. You're good.
And that's Law's turn.
Okay. So Zig Zag, seeing how this has been developing, kind of stops in his tracks. And here's the little fragment I'm gonna do. You see him actually looking at this snake, very alarmed, but also with a little bit of just an inherent enmity for this serpentine form in front of him. And you see him just holding his bow and just kind of looking at it like he wants to attack it, but also kind of understanding instinctively that somehow this is related to this new druid person he's met. You see him kind of backing away, but still very intently looking at the snake before he finally turns and kind of makes his way over towards this doorway. See him just kind of peeking down these stairs that are over here, and also keeping his eye on the events of the rest of the room, just kind of looking around and then looking back over, making sure everything's good, kind of scoping around a little bit some more. That will bring us to Seckmoth.
Okay, so I'm gonna move over
Okay.
I'm not getting vision through that door from there. Am I supposed to have it?
You would be able to see through there. I'll put you in Grisellia's face just so you can see more or less what you would see through the doorway. If you want to go through, that would count as 10 feet right there.
Where's the hermit crab? Sorry, I'm colorblind, so some stuff blend.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I mean, it's right next to
Okay.
the rock that it was basically disguised as, so
Yeah, so
understand.
pretty not visible.
It looks like the rock. It's
All right.
supposed to.
With that, okay. So, our guide through it. It seems that you're communicating with them. Maybe we don't have to do anything more violent. Please just back away, and we can each go our own separate ways. And I'm going to hold sapping sting for if anything makes aggressive action towards the party. So if something comes in and starts to attack, I'm gonna
That was smart.
release sapping sting.
Okay. Alright. That's the end of your turn. That is going to bring us to the top of the order, and one, Mr. Grindstone.
But kill everything. No, I'm kidding. I'm like honestly surprised that the giant crab is like doing weird stuff with the snake. Like, you know, seems like it's talking to the snake or whatever. Not entirely surprised about the crayfish looking like they're helping each other. They seem to talk, have a back and forth since we've met them. So, seeing as everything has sort of calmed down and no one's actually attacking anyone, I'm not gonna. Just gonna move like right here, within range of the crayfish.
Okay.
And if hold an action to cast Green Flame Blade, if violence continue.
Okay.
Can I retroactively hold an action, or has my time passed? Because that would have definitely held an attack if somebody else attacked.
That's fine. So, that is going to bring us to Grisellia, who will be going at the same time as Galkaka. So you've kind of heard what's been said and being the only one that can. You do see this crab like being in the center of the room, kind of like rearing itself up to its full form.
She's just gonna tap the amalgamation of leaves on her shoulders, and a bunch of berries will grow on it, and then the shrub is going to jump down and walk over to the injured crayfish, and it's going to drop 2 berries right in front of its claw.
Okay.
Our friend may have helped awaken whatever it was that he awoke, but we had nothing to do with that. What can we do to fix this without becoming dinner?
And at this, you see Galkaka kind of turning away, just almost just forgetting about the presence of the snake. Turns towards you. Well, someone who understands the power of nature. Refreshing. What happened to the little fascinating Catman? He had such very tasty fish.
According to our friend, he didn't make it through the collapse.
Yes. The awakening. Tlokas Papolakas warned all against waking this monstrosity. That's what they call me. But this is an evil beyond. Everything here has been placed to guard against his awakening. Everything here will fight to keep it here.
We would rather join that fight to destroy it or lock it back up than continue what was already begun. And fighting you and you fighting us doesn't help either one of us, really.
Oh, when dinner presents itself through the door, we merely wish to feast. 'Twas your friend that attacked us.
I am aware, and we have reined him in, and all I can do is apologize, and I'd offer my snake, but he doesn't exactly make a filling meal.
I do not wish to feast upon a servant of Invispana.
I cannot offer you any of us.
How did you summon one of hers?
I can summon creatures that I have seen. It is not tied to anyone but me.
Well, darling, there are very many powerful creatures here. We were called gods by the humans, the ancient people that lived here. Gods we would remain. If he takes the axe to the chambers above, he will wake. Something far worse. The ancient vampire god. This must not happen.
She's just gonna turn to Brasnic. You're trying to wake an ancient vampire? This is a bad plan.
Nope. That is not what we are trying to do. Oh, well, I mean, my group. Well, my group was alive. Not us. We were not trying to do that.
So you weren't the ones trying to take the axe to the place that would wake the guy? Because that's...
No.
Okay.
We just wanted the axe. Like, we weren't taking the axe to the vampire guy. One of the party members was just interested in having...
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't. Were we trying to stop like them Duergas from coming down here and getting the axe, and then they wanted to make a deal with this guy. So then, like, they were gonna like team up with this guys and stuff. And then, like, we were trying to stop all of them from doing that, and then they were gonna summon these gods, and then I don't even want to get into all that.
To clarify our job, we came down here to stop another group who had planned to do exactly what you just said. They were gonna grab the axe, wake the god, bring doom and gloom. We came down to get the artifact first, so they wouldn't have it. Unfortunately, in the process of getting said artifact, the guy who was, dead, the vampire priest guy we talked about earlier, kinda woke up. Yeah.
This entire temple is dedicated to Zolzolaha. It is him who must sleep forever. But he needs this priest in order to awaken. If he has again returned. This is bad for all. Yes.
Law leans back and he tries to whisper to Seckmoth, but he's huge now, so he just, hey, what's going on? Are they talking? I can't completely tell.
I'm back in the hallway. I got half of the conversation. I heard that the dwarf, she's talking to, I don't know what's going on.
You all do get to hear Grisellia's half. Beasts just understand her speech. So you get half of it, and then you hear a lot of clapping.
I thought you would speak in clacking tombs.
I kind of thought so too.
And
that would be way more amazing than what Speech with Beasts is. Speech with Beasts is just that they understand everything you say.
And as you guys kind of start this dialogue back and forth, you see Kalka-Kyla kind of sit back into her shell a little bit and kind of raises up a claw and kind of like motions towards the two crayfish, and they seem to kind of like together kind of scuttling towards this crab in the center of the room.
Did they eat their good berries, though?
One of them kind of poked at it, and it just kind of smushed into the silt, and wasn't really able to pick it up with the claw.
I suppose that's fine. Well, Zoe will pick up the other one and reattach it to herself.
La watches them leave his range, his threatening range, cautiously, and the Echo looks at him and sheathes its swords and disappears.
Okay.
Okay, I pull out. I push the hand out. Like, is still there? No, gone. Okay.
About this amount of time, also, Law would revert back inside because I think it's been about a minute.
Okay. As they're
Being
backing up, you do see this one crayfish on the left kind of grabs at this body, kind of drags it towards the center of this chamber as it's retreating.
Law, let them have dinner. Those of us that need to eat must often kill to eat.
Law's still pretty he's shaken, but he doesn't move. He just kind of watches it happening.
You don't have to watch it, though. It's not pretty.
He keeps watching.
You see Kalka-Kyla kind of seems to be looking over this crayfish that had been stabbed so mercilessly by this dwarf. Just kind of checking it over, and you hear Grisellia, you hear just kind of a whispered, "You'll be fine, darling." And then she kind of like sits back into her shell again, kind of looking over the party. Shall we have an end to the hostilities then?
That would be much preferred.
What did it say? Is it threatening us?
No, it's asking if we want to be done fighting. I promise I'll translate from here on. I'm sorry. I'm not used to traveling with anyone but Zoe. Usually no one else has to understand what's being said.
So, I mean, we're not just gonna melt down some butters over here, and we're not just gonna have ourselves like a little, like a fricassee, or like, what do they call that?
I
when
will
like one of
send
those
my
seafood
snake
boils?
after you.
Okay, I mean, we don't, you don't have to be like all hostile, just trying to have like a little seafood dinners over here, just like a little bit of melted butter something. Just, no?
God, you painted
The
one
giant
picture.
constrictor snake raises up and hisses aggressively at him.
Okay. Alright. No seafood for tonight, no dinners, okay?
I put out a fist for God. I'm like, nah, that sounds good. We can't do it, but that sounds good.
He just slowly bloop, and turns invisible. Okay. So, you see this crab-like creature just kind of staring out and over at this assembled group here. Do you have anything you'd like to say? Or ask?
Grisellia, so just to be clear, we're not going to kill each other anymore. Okay?
No, they're not going to kill us anymore. That's managed to be talked down. What do I ask it? What do you want to know?
How do we stop the priest guy? Because last time we sort of kicked his ass, and then he sort of started to come back. Like, we kind of beat him into the ground, sort of viciously, and then he just sort of started to recoalesce. That's why he currently has the axe, because he didn't stay dead. So, if they know how to stop that, that'd be great.
Yeah, like, we almost had him for like a second there still, right? Like, you just hear this voice out of thin air. I mean, like, you know, like, we put that mask back on him and stuff, and, like, he just seemed to, like, fall back into, like, a pile of bones.
And then the wizard guy came through, zapped our friends, and the guy sort of came back and recoalesced and grabbed the axe. So, yeah.
There's magic down here that creates life of some sort, yes? If it creates it, maybe there's magic that can remove it. And maybe he is powered by such things. If we know the source, we remove the source. He falls inanimate.
I mean, he was... It's a weird situation because, like Jot said, as I, like, hook a thumb at blank air, because it's not there anymore. But as Jot said, you know, we came into the chamber. He was in the sarcophagus. We sort of opened the sarcophagus to look inside. Saw, you know, the remains, not moving or anything. Then
until
as
Mara
you know,
cast freaking fireballs on everything and like blew everything all over the place.
Yeah, Mara, who might have been a little like, oh, I'm scared of what's gonna come out, so she went ahead and fireballed the damn thing, which blew the mask off of it, and it started to raise up and try to kill us. And then we figured out that we had to put the mask back on to make it. We can't kill it. They just put the mask on and it stops moving. But currently, you know, it's sort of buried if it's still in that room.
Oh, but darling, you can kill it. You don't understand.
Why did it clack at me?
How do we kill it?
Oh, okay, I get it.
The mask must be removed. He must regain his power. Only when he has regained his full strength can he be destroyed.
So we have to allow him to become more powerful in order to kill him.
The mask will lose its hold over him. It was enchanted thousands of years ago to keep him in this eternal sleep. You see, Zotzalaha is one of the revered gods as well. Being his highest priest, he could not be killed according to their law religion. So they put him to sleep for millennia. Put us all here to guard this place against trespassers, looters. Did you come seeking treasure, power?
Me? No, none of that.
Wait, none of what? What's going on?
He asked if we came to seek treasure or power.
I assume Grisellia has been translating this as it's been spoken.
Yeah, I would figure, that's probably what she's doing as quickly as possible.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, technically, as I point towards Law and our new warlock, because I can't remember the name of it.
Wizard.
Yeah, the wizard. I can't remember the wizard. It's not sticking.
Yeah, you must be a warlock because you're a tiefling. Wow.
Oh.
I didn't say that. She said that. Don't look at me. She said that. I didn't say that. But
Stereotasms.
I mean, technically, you guys came for quote unquote treasures and artifacts. But me and my group,
study.
Yeah, well, it still counts as all that. My group came to stop evil guys from releasing evil, pretty much, and maybe kind of in the process gain some profit.
Yeah, you know, we
But
like,
mainly to stop.
We got like good intentions over here. We like the good guys and stuff.
Yeah, totally the good guys. We came here to stop evil. In general.
Dude, thanks for the subscription. You're super awesome. I heard you so much more. Thank you. You get an emote.
Please tell the giant crab lady that that's what we came to do. Yeah, Griselda.
Some of them came for treasure, yes. Others, well, the cat and his friend that we have left, and that little annoying thing came to stop the ones trying to bring him back.
I always gotta pick a
Law says we came for understanding. If removing an artifact would cause a imbalance in the ecosystem, we would not disturb such a thing. We would look it over and gather as much knowledge as we could. But we're not here to loot this place.
Can you repeat that back to Coca-Cola?
Maybe a little
bit. maybe a little.
Law. You know our rules.
Just
We
on a
don't
quick
touch
note,
it.
with that Twitch Prime, I think it says in the scroll there what the reward is for that. I believe it's some inspiration for these guys. If one of you guys wants to check on that real quick for me, it's right in that donation box. It's right next to the video. If you're on ChronosWorld.live, which you should.
Team
be, because it's
inspiration.
awesome. Team inspiration. So that's going to be 6 more inspirations, or no, it's a smaller team now. It's 4 more inspirations for your pool. So that's going to kick that up to 24. But we had actually two of those because Mitch subscribed as well. So I'm going to make that 28. So you guys got a lot of inspiration. So keep that in mind when you're doing your dice rolls. As far as the D12s, D10s, and things of that nature, which you do have a few of those guys are pretty awesome because you can use them for any dice roll, literally for anything, any kind of an effect, whether it be hit points, whether you want to, there's anything you can literally roll a dice for, you can add these dice to them. It is part of the party loot though, so you're going to want to talk to your teammates before you use those. Yeah, Gibbs resubbed as well for 6 months in a row, because Gibbs, you fucking rock. So that's going to bring you guys up to 32 inspirations. You guys should use those. You got a bunch of them.
Oh, this means I have all the party loot.
Just a bunch of advantages for you guys. You should take advantage of those advantages. Yes, I went for the dad joke. It was obvious. Just laying there like a cherry pie in the middle of the street. I am going to dive right on that son of a bitch. I don't care if it's poison and trapped all at the same time. Okay, so.
That's flavor.
It's flavor. I know, 32 freaking inspirations because Gibbs is insane. All of you guys are insane. I appreciate anyone that donates or helps out or subs or does the booster in Discord or any way that you guys support the stream. I freaking heart you guys so much. Thank you so much. So, sorry, getting back to the stream. Where were we? What the fuck just happened?
Asking Griselda to tell the crab lady that, you know, we came to stop the other group who wants to release massive evil into the world.
We are discussing.
And kind of maybe little loot. Just a little bit of loot. Loot.
By the way,
We're
I
gonna
can shrink
leave
the cost
out
of
the part about loot and instead just mention the gonna try and save the world part.
DM has to make your token smaller. No way for the player to do.
I can.
Thank you.
With this knowledge, she definitely does seem to relax a little bit as she's kind of looking over you guys. Says, well, in that case, darling, there's probably some things you would wish to know. Uh-oh. We lost a Grakees. Hey, look, the GM is the GM is now Gigi.
Ooh. I'm fancy.
It's weird. Brasnic and Law stay in the same place, but I go down to Seckmoth's place, and then Gigi comes over to the GM spot.
Well, that's pretty great.
It's fixed.
I know, but Brasnic and Law are just like, well, I'm good.
Also, I'm the only one here that isn't a GM, so let's not make me a GM, thanks.
Hey, if you want to ever run a one-shot, that's coming up.
Not even a little.
Let's make this happen, guys. All right, so, so with that being said, it is 9:20. We usually cut it off right around that 3-hour mark. We're going out just over 3 hours. So let's go ahead and cut that off for this week. And we'll pick up this conversation with Kalkakaila as we start up next week in the next episode of the Fireside Tales. I had a ton of fun, guys. Thank you so much for joining this team. I'm so stoked to have these new faces here and this new direction that we're going in, and I can already tell this is going to be super fun. The more that we gel as a team, this is just going to get better and better. So I am excited, absolutely. Thank you so much to everybody that's watching, everybody that subbed tonight. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you guys just for hanging out and watching. Even that alone is super huge, and thank you for that. But yeah, come back and see us again next week. We're working on a new show. Come back and see us on Thursday. We'll hopefully be starting up the Saltmarsh Legends this week. It's going to be a pirate adjacent campaign. There's definitely going to be pirates at some point, so I call it a pirate campaign because I'm a nerd and I freaking love pirates. I mean, come on, it's a pirate campaign. So there's going to be that, and it's going to be awesome on Thursdays, and you should totally come watch that. Definitely working on getting some map makers in, trying to get some more people involved on the project, and starting to get some of those sponsor spots filled out. Just brought on a map maker named Lematron that's going to be helping us out a lot with the Saltmarsh campaign and doing some pirate ship maps and stuff like that. So definitely got some cool stuff coming up. And if anybody does want to reach out to me about any sort of a thing like that, I'm definitely willing and open-eared about talking about any kind of deals and bartering and all that kind of stuff. So please get at me. I like to have cool people involved with this project and doing stuff, so, let's build something awesome. Definitely appreciate you guys hanging out. Come see us again next week, same bat time. You can see this evil, evil little hairless kitty. Aren't hairless casters inherently the masterminds of evil? Right?
They're like the actual sweetest animals I've ever met in my entire... Like, she sleeps in bed with me every night, curled up in my arms every single night.
It's a boy.
That's part of how
I'm fine with that. It's adorable.
Part of how cats trick you. It's true. All right, so that being said, come back and see us again next week. Definitely appreciate you hanging out with us, and we will see you next week on the Fireside Tales. Have a great night, everyone.
Bye.